very, very happy to be here, despite the fact that I'm very jet-lagged.
This is your first time, I think.
It is. Imagine that. I've had a 20-year career, and I've never been invited to Dublin.
And your mum's half Irish.
Why is that? Yes, my mother's maiden name is McPeck.
I always had this.
And my dad is half Irish too.
We sort of knew that you were Irish. That's why we were sort of expecting you for a while.
Why? Because I went to jail?
No, this is a couple of goals back then.
I drink too much?
No, not that either. No.
I'm a devout Catholic.
That might, no. Tell us a bit about this film.
Well, it's actually a remake of a really small and obscure Icelandic movie called Regular Rotterdam. And the agency that I'm at signed the director, and they sent me the original film, which I completely flipped for. And so I demanded that we buy the rights. And then it's an action movie, but it's really smart and character driven, and it's got a very good plot. And that's rare. Certainly, you know, it's hard in Hollywood to find good scripts that I think will entertain audiences and also, you know, keep people on the edge of their seat. They continue to do the superhero movies and the sequels. And this was just a fresh take. And we actually got the director of our film starred and produced the original. And
he said that the only person that he wanted to play his part was you.
Well, I think that's a bullshit. Brad Pitt probably passed and then he called me. But that's okay, because that's, hey, I don't mind.
And tell us, you're a producer as well as an actor in this.
Yes.
So tell us about how you juggle both of those roles.
It's actually quite easy. I want to be involved in every aspect of the film. At this stage of my career, I mean, I will do a lot of jobs for hire, working with the director, just there to service his vision. But ultimately, I want to be in control of my own career. And I always found myself sitting around waiting for good parts to come to me, and they don't always do that. So we wanted to be more aggressive and go out there and find our own material, develop it and produce it, and have complete control, and hopefully own it one day. You know, I'd like to, I'm very business oriented from my street hustle days in Boston.
And tell us a bit about the casting, because they're just about to see it, but tell us about some of the people who they're going to meet. I mean, Giovanni Ribisi.
We have an amazing cast. Giovanni Ribisi, Kate Beckinsale, Ben Foster, Diego Luna, J.K. Simmons, who's everybody loves here.
Absolutely.
And you know, when I sat down with Sheila Jaffe, who cast most of my films and television shows, she's done Entourage, she did The Italian Job, she did The Fighter. We have a wish list, and we usually set out to kind of go after the people that we like, and then we have like 4 or 5 choices after that. And we literally almost got every single person that we wanted for these parts, and that's, you know, a real credit to the material and also to Baltazar as a filmmaker, because they responded to the material, and then they basically had to sit down with the director and be convinced why they should trust a foreign guy who hasn't made any US films.
Well, I've seen his last film, Jar City, which is brilliant, British film, but he got a lot more money to make this film. Was he?
He did. He was like a kid in a candy store. He had never done a movie with a budget more than $3 million. And at one point, this movie was going to be about a $50 or $60 million budget, but we decided, you know what? We really don't need to spend that kind of money. So it's half that. But he gets in there, he's very hands-on, and he knows how to stretch a dollar. So that's why we just hired him to direct the movie with me and Denzel Washington this summer. Because he's very good. He's an actor first. He's really smart with the choices and the direction that he's giving the actors.
And the other thing that's really unusual is it's brilliantly shot by Barry Ackroyd, who
did
The Hurt
Locker. Yes, that's such an amazingly talented guy. And working in a film like this has much of an independent spirit. So you're not waiting around. And I did a movie right after this, which was a comedy and has no action. It took 25 more shooting days to finish the movie. And I spent, endless hours every day in my trailer. And, you get used to working at that pace. I really love working at that pace, and especially when you're the producer and you have to watch the bottom line. You want everybody to be moving and not wasting any time.
I want to ask you just a couple more questions. The first one was, you moved, the original was in, or the first film was in Iceland, and you chose to shoot this in New Orleans.
Yeah. Well, they were, believe it or not, they were smuggling alcohol. That's if it was a dry country. It was like, come on, man, just fucking move. But so we thought, we didn't think that a lot of audiences, especially in the States and here in Ireland, would be too impressed by them smuggling alcohol. So we said, let's move it to New Orleans. And New Orleans obviously is a very inexpensive place to shoot, but most people shoot New Orleans for some other city or for Mardi Gras or the French Quarter. We wanted to show the kind of the seedier side of New Orleans, and wanted New Orleans to be very much a character in the movie. And then we also shot in Panama. We had debated a couple of other different locations abroad, but Panama is really like the Wild Wild West, and the canal is so famous, and the container ships that go through there are gigantic, and most of the ones from all over the world are going through the Panama Canal. So we thought those locations would be fresh and interesting.
Is it true that the regulations aren't quite as strict in Panama compared to?
There are no such regulations whatsoever. It's like, we got off the plane and we were driving around, we're shooting machine guns, and somebody said, "Hola, well." That was it. I mean, once they mistook me for Matt Damon. I was like, "No, Tom Cruise, man. Come on, get ready."
Right, we're going to start them off on this journey. Any last few words before they see the film?
I just wish that my daughter Ella, my son Michael Patrick, my son Brendan Joseph, and my daughter Grace Margaret were here to see this beautiful country. But I will be back.
He's made that a promise
And more importantly, I'm bringing my golf clubs. I saw so many great golf courses as I was landing on the plane. I was like, shit. I gotta sit in a hotel all day and talk to journalists about, and I don't like talking about myself. I think there's so many more important things going on in the world, and so many more interesting people to talk to than an actor. I really do. I really do. Now, I appreciate it. I'm actually building a house because people think it's important. So I appreciate it, but you know, I'm also very humble.
Honestly.
God bless you guys. Thank you.